What's up, y'all? So welcome to this new everyday fit series. This is fitness, health and fitness for the everyday person. So right now I'm going to take you guys through my lower body workout, or one of my two lower body workouts. You'll see me starting off every workout with dynamic stretching. So not your typical static stretching where you're being still and holding the stretch, but this is where you're just moving, getting your blood flowing, and just getting your body ready to do the movement. So you'll see me doing like some just simple high knees, some hamstring sweeps as the track stars do it. Hopefully I'm doing them right. And then I call them around the world, but just to kind of like move my hips and like my groin area, because my groin can get kind of tight sometimes. But you'll see me doing these dynamic stretches pretty much in all of the workouts that I do. So first, I tried out this new belt squat. So I've done like a makeshift belt squat at one of the other gyms that I go to, but this one was actually like a machine, so I was excited to try this one out. A rule of thumb, or like a pointer that I would give, especially if you're new in the gym, trying out a new machine, always start with either no weight or a light weight. The goal is to get familiar with the movement and do the movement correctly and have your form as tight as possible before you add more weight. If you add more weight and your form is trash, baby, you're cooked. So what I like to do, even though I've been working out for years, I like to, if I'm ever trying a new machine, a new movement, whatever, I always do a lighter weight. And by lighter, I don't mean something that I could just throw in the air, send to the moon, or just like do air reps, but meaning something that gives me a slight resistance to where I can see how it would feel tension-wise and where I need to feel it, and basically testing out the movement. So you'll see me do that with this belt squat. So I'll start with like 45 and a 10, and I'll go to a 45 and a quarter, and then we'll just kind of go up from there. So next we have the machine that tends to take people out on a daily. That is the good old pendulum squat. So this one in particular, so whenever you're getting on a machine, all machines typically have a load weight, or like an initial weight that the machine weighs if you were to put no weight on it. So for the pendulum, this starting weight, baby, was 120. I said, why does one feel heavier than the one in my, anywho? So you'll see like where you can load the weight on the back, but you can also, on pendulum squat machines, you can load weight on the front to counter the weight, whether it be the starting weight or to counter the weight on the back. So if I would have taken a 10-pound weight and put it in the front of the machine, it would have gone from 120 to 100. So I don't know why I chose to do these second after the belt squat, but we made it through. My legs were already like tight and cooked, but we made it through these. So next is probably one of my favorite leg workouts, and that's the leg extension. Normally, you know, it's the stat weight, but these were plate loaded, and let me tell you something, it felt amazing. At most gyms, most of the leg extension machines, whether it be plate loaded or like stacked on the side where you can adjust it, you'll be able to adjust the back seat, as in the padding part that your back goes on. And on some of them, you may be able to adjust like the actual seat. And then the others will be like the actual padding that rests on your shins. You can adjust how far back you want it to go as far as knee flexion. So knee flexion is just the extent to which your knees bend through the movement on the leg extension. So I give these a 10 out of 10. I normally start my leg days with these two, like a lighter set, just to kind of get my knees warm. Got to keep the knees intact and together. And then I'll start my workout. But yes, I love these. So I normally do like a good 3 sets of 8 to 10 or 10 to 12, depending on if I'm going moderate or heavy. And then we have the standing leg curl. I was waiting to get on this all day. So normally I do lying or seated leg curl. I prefer the lying. They say on seated you get a greater stretch, which I agree. But it's just something about the lying leg curl where I feel like for me personally, I feel more of my hamstrings being used. But for this one in particular, I feel like you get a good stretch and a good squeeze at the top. And being that one leg is up, I feel like you have no choice but to concentrate on that working leg that you're doing in that set. So I give these a 10 out of 10 too. Lastly, I finished with some hip adductors. So that's where the padding is on the inside and you squeeze in and go back out. Hip abductions or hip abductors is the opposite. So the padding is on the outside of your thighs and you start in and you push out. So I like to hit these because they work my groin pretty well, the inside of my thighs, and kind of like the inner teardrop of your thigh. So I normally like to finish with that, probably like a good 3 sets of 12 to 15. All right, y'all, so now I'm gonna cut it back to me to give y'all an actual slightly more in-depth breakdown of the workout along with some alternatives and just kind of explaining a little bit more of what this series will be about. All right, y'all, so that was the leg day that I just put myself through. It felt really good. Painful, but it was really good. I wanted to try out some of the new toys here, so I was actually glad I did. So right now, I just want to walk y'all through what I did for people that didn't know and to give y'all some substitutions. So first, we did dynamic warm-up. So like I said at the beginning, you want to always make sure you're warming up. Not like static stretches where you're stretching and holding, but make sure you move and just get your blood flowing, get your body warm. Oh, disclaimer, I am not a licensed trainer, nor dietitian, nor professional. I'm just a girl who loves the gym and trying to help somebody else. So that disclaimer. So yeah, make sure you do your dynamic stretches at the beginning of your workout. So we did belt squat, pendulum squat. We did leg extensions, upright leg curls, or like the standing leg curls, and then we did hip adductions. So for the belt squat, so you'll see on the belt squat, I'm trying to keep my chest upright, and this is pretty much with any squat movement. You can slightly bend over if you're doing barbell. It really depends on the mechanics of your body and the composition of your body. My hips aren't the best. I rarely do back squats, like rarely to none. I found that hack squats, belt squats, goblet squats, all those can be good substitutions if you want to get a good squat variation, and even front squats. I love front squats. But the belt squat, that one in particular, I love. So it gives you something to hold on, gives you something, to help with stability. And I try to go parallel, or I'll lighten the weight and try to go below parallel just to make sure I'm working my whole leg. So you'll see me going like right at 90 degrees, and if I can tell like I'm right there, I'll try to go lower. But you'll make sure you keep your chest upright, keep your core tight, try to keep your head up. I have my head down a good bit, but I still try to make sure my chest is up. But sometimes holding my head up makes me make sure that my chest is up too. And make sure you're squeezing. You're gonna generally use your whole foot to push through, but primarily focus on pushing through your heels too, just to give the contraction in the upper hamstring and then your glutes. You'll end up working your whole leg on the belt squat anyway, but just a couple rules of thumb. Yeah, and like with that machine, one thing I want y'all to know is don't be scared to ask somebody how to use something. Don't be scared to look it up on TikTok. If y'all only knew how many times I come in the gym and I'm YouTubing something or I'm TikToking something to see how to work it before I use it if there's nobody in here. But I asked one of the workers for help. He helped me, showed me how to do it, and we got to rolling. So that was belt squat. Pendulum squat, I hate the pendulum squat. I hate the pendulum squat as much as I hate the hip thrust, but I'm gonna do them because they give you good gains. In the pendulum squat, 9 times out of 10, I don't throw no weight on there. I'll put the one that at the other gym I go to, I'll put maybe 2 10s, but that one I didn't do no weight because I was already cooked by the time I got done with the belt squat. So on the pendulum squat, you'll see where I'll go about the same length, but not the same length, the same depth, but I'll do, honestly, on pendulum squats, I'll do no weight because I'm really trying to make sure I go all the way down. The more bend I found that I have, or the more knee flexion I have, that's when your knee bends when you're squatting or when you're doing a leg curls, the more activation you typically get out of your quadriceps. The next one I fell in love with because it's a plate loaded leg extension. And it felt so good. I didn't think I would be able to get as much knee flexion in it, but when I felt it, baby, my quads was on fire. They was my quads was on fire. But yeah, when you're doing leg extensions, you want to make sure that the seat, the part that's like, so you got, I don't know if y'all can see the box, but the seat is right at the crease of the back of your leg where your knee folds at, essentially. If not, maybe out just a little bit. That way when you come in, when your leg essentially goes like this, it's more flexion coming back. So you make sure you get a good stretch on those quads. Y'all hear me say stretch a lot just because that's what I've learned through watching people. That's what I've learned has helped me to grow. So you want to make sure you get good knee flexion on your leg extensions. I try to hold for like a good 2 seconds at the top, and then you'll see me. The reason why my sets typically take so long is because I'm really, for Jada, I'm really trying to focus on concentrated on each rep. I never like to, unless like I'm just trying to get like reps, I'm not the type where I want to just rush through my sets. I like to concentrate and get like a good stretch and squeeze, a good eccentric concentric, as the people like to call it. I don't know too much, just a little something, but just to make sure I'm feeling the movement, to make sure I'm getting quality reps in with each set. Especially because sometimes on legs, I'll do 3 sets, but I may only do 8 reps. So I want to make sure I'm getting good concentration because I only got so many sets that I have the amount of time to do. So that was leg extensions. What's next? The standing or upright, I don't know what they call it, but the standing / upright leg curl. On that too, you'll see me stretch my leg all the way down because I want to make sure I'm getting a good stretch on my hamstrings. I find that a lot of people say they like the seated leg curl, which is cool. I like it too, depending on what kind it is. But I really like the lion leg curl and that standing or upright leg curl. So you'll see, I try to touch my cheeks with my calf muscle as like I'm coming back to do the actual curl. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, baby, I was cooked by that time. I was through. So try to pull up or curl your leg as much as you can on those. And even when you're lying down, if you're doing a lion, whether you're doing lion leg curl, upright, or seated, the stretch is just important. Make sure you're flexing your leg out before you do the curl motion. And then I wanted to do abductions, but it was taken, and I'm gonna be honest, I was ready to go. So I did adductions, hip adductions. So with those hip abductions, the padding is on the outside of your thighs and you go from in to out. Hip adductions, the padding is on the inside of your thighs and you go from out to in. So those work the inside of your thighs. To run through them again, so your belt squat. So if you're going into the gym and your gym doesn't have a belt squat, you can do goblet squats, or you can do a hack squat, or you can do front squats. Pendulum squat, the same alternatives apply. What we had after that, leg extensions. Every gym typically has a leg extension and if not a upright leg curl, a seated or lying. Most of them, if not all of them, generally have it. So yeah, that was my leg workout. I am going to do y'all an upper body workout too. So my goal for this series is to give an upper body and a lower body workout, and to just give y'all some tips as you maneuver through the gym, because I know the gym can be an intimidating thing. It can be tough to stay consistent. Then you got to add diet in and all that stuff. So I'm gonna try to address each of those things to the best of my ability. Again, not licensed, just a girl who enjoys health, fitness, and wellness and wants to help the people who want help. The everyday gym person who you don't want to bodybuild, you're not trying to power lift or none of that type of stuff. You just want to take care of your body and even physique wise work towards attaining the physique you desire to attain. So I'm going to try to touch all of the bases. Y'all leave a comment of something or a topic that y'all feel y'all need help with and may want me to cover. And I'll be posting like more workouts and stuff too. But yeah, so hopefully that leg workout, lower body / leg workout, same thing. Hopefully that helped you guys, and hope you guys enjoyed this video, like I said, and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.